Leah says she's missed the last couple of weeks. So happy to watch today. I'm happy you're here. I've missed you. Are you going to On Stage in Orlando? So On Stage is this awesome event for Stampin' Up! Demonstrators. Stampin' Up! Puts on a crafty local day twice a year, or an On Stage Live where it's a crafty weekend for demonstrators where we can get together and get some business training, see new products, do a lot of crafting, spend time with each other. On Stage is really awesome. And this November it's in Orlando and we're celebrating Stampin' Up's 30th anniversary. So if you've thought about becoming a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and you're interested in information about joining the Stampin' Up! Family and my team, the Kitchenettes, let me know because registration is open for On Stage in Orlando through September 25th or until they sell out. So being a demonstrator is just more fun. That's all. Right, Leah? Oh, I'm so excited that you're going to be at On Stage. Great. You have to find me, okay? All right. So while we're waiting for everybody to get in here, let me show you. This is the card that we're making today. And it features Stampin' Up's Candy Cane Season. I did a little bit of work ahead of time, so just let you know, we'll go through that. But I gathered up the supplies for the things that I did ahead of time, and I'll show you. I'll walk you right through. All right, so before we get started, I'm going to tell you a little bit housekeeping for local stampers. Anybody who lives in the Chicago area, my Rolling Meadows home studio is open to all adult crafters anytime. And one of the things that I'm doing through this holiday crafting season is Coffee and a Card, Christmas Card Club Edition. So my Coffee and a Card is every other Wednesday. And unless something crazy comes up, if I'm traveling or something, it can knock off the schedule a little bit. But rule of thumb, it's every other Wednesday. I feature a card. You can make the card and have some coffee or tea or cocoa. It's 10 a.m. to noon every other Wednesday. It's a drop-in, and we have a really great time. It's $5 or it's free with any Stampin' Up! Order. Well, I've been doing a Crafter's Choice edition where I have 3 cards to choose from. You choose the card, but if you place an order, then you can do more cards for free. So it's been kind of fun. So the Christmas Card Club edition goes like this. It's $5 for one card or free with an order, and you choose the card. These are the cards that we did last Wednesday for our Christmas card edition. So here's a fun Merry Christmas featuring the new Farmhouse suite of products. Here's a fun kind of vintage Santa. These are the ones that the ladies could choose from last week. And next Wednesday, this will be one of the cards that they can choose from. And I'll put out what kits are left from last week. So each week there will be more Christmas cards to choose from. And if you place an order of $50 or more, you can choose any 3 cards to make for free. If you place an order of $75 or more, you can choose any 6 cards to make for free. And so if you come to all the Coffee and a Cards between now and, say, early December, you can get a majority of your Christmas cards done, and you can do it with like-minded crafty friends at this drop-in. So that's what this card is for in my business. This is something that we're going to do at Coffee and a Card next week. And if you live in the Chicago area and you're curious about classes or Coffee and a Card, just email me, marissa@kitchentablestamper.com. If you're not local, that's okay. You'll see most of the Coffee and a Card designs as either Facebook Live or videos on the blog, kitchentablestamper.com. So if you're not local, don't worry, you won't miss out. I'll make videos for you. Dolores says, hello from Houston. It's been raining for days. And Joanne says, hello from Florida. Hi, ladies. Thanks for joining me. All right, if you want to share this video, I would really appreciate it. The first, let's say maybe 2 people that share and let me know that they shared, I will send you one of these cards. Just share it, comment, shared, and then I'll private message you for your address. Let's see here. Let's go through the supplies that I used to create this card. And I'm going to start with Candy Cane Season. It's a brand new stamp set, 2018 holiday catalog from Stampin' Up. And then I want to show you a couple of other things here. So I used this Simple Stripes embossing folder to emboss my shaded spruce card base. And I went ahead and did that ahead of time. So I wanted to show you. I did all the big shot work ahead of time for today. So that one's all done. And then this is shaded spruce, and it's 8.5 by 5.5 and scored at 4 1/4. And then I also did a couple other things with the big shot. So let me show you what I did and what products I used. I cut this gorgeous gold foil label, and that was with the Stitched Labels Framelits dies. I am just in love with this label. And today we're going to use half of it. So I'm going to cut it in half and save half of it for another card. So you just use 1/2. All right, and then I also did ahead of time a cherry cobbler oval, or scalloped oval, and a white stitched oval. So this is Whisper White cardstock, and the oval is, I will tell you because I wrote it all down, and there will be a project sheet. Whisper White oval is 1 7/8 by 2 3/4, and the cherry cobbler scallop is 2 1/4 by 3 1/4. So those are which sizes you'll need, and you can do those with the Stitch Shapes Framelits and the Layering Ovals Framelits. So I did all of that big shot work ahead of time. Other supplies that you'll need here, Whisper White cardstock. I've got a 1/2 by, I think that was 3 1/4. Yeah, 1/2 by 3 1/4 and a 1/4 by 1 1/4 square. This is for your greeting. This is for your holly. You're going to stamp on those scraps. Then the Designer Series paper. I love this Designer Series paper. It's the Under the Mistletoe Designer Series paper from the annual catalog. And I have 2 pieces here. One that's 4 inches by 2 inches, one that is 4 inches by 1 inch. And you can use your choice of patterns. This is what I did. Here's the back sides of those patterns, so you can see. That would be a pretty one too. I wonder if I should do it that way. There's no red in those patterns though, so I might be kind of out on a limb. But you can use your choice of patterns from the Under the Mistletoe Designer Series paper. Okay, so let's see here. Dolores says she shared with her friend Lori. Awesome. Tina loves the card. Thank you, Tina. And Joanne shared on Facebook. Thank you, Joanne. I will message you for your address and send you one of these. If you guys share on Facebook, if you share the video, please let me know. The first 2, maybe 3. How about the first 3 that share and say they shared? I will follow up with you and send you one of these. Annette's watching from the UK. Awesome. Hi, Annette. It's good to see you. All right, so let's see. What else do I want to show you? My Stampin' Pad. So let's talk about that. I've got Cherry Cobbler today and Old Olive. And I think that covers our materials. A little linen thread. I tied a bow behind my holly leaves, a little extra texture. I love the simple stripes. And then that blingy gold foil. And then here's this kind of rustic linen thread. It's just a feast for the eyes of textures. Yay, thank you, Leah, for sharing. All right, I will touch base with you 3 ladies. Let's see, who was that? Dolores, Joanne, and Leah. Okay, we're going to get stamping in a minute, but hello from your Auntie Cheryl, who's home on lunch. Hi, Auntie Cheryl. All right, so let me get you going here. So we've done our big shot work, embossed the card base, and just because this is how I roll, let's get some either multi-purpose liquid glue or snail or even some fast fuse. Anybody else still using their fast fuse and loving it? I'm dreading the day that it is gone. But you want to adhere your Designer Series paper to your card base. Now, we're going to go about 1 inch from the top and then center right to left, and it isn't going to go all the way to the right or left edge. That's purposeful. And then, oh, I almost put my adhesive on the wrong side. Live videos. And we've got the plaid Designer Series paper, and you know what? I really want that underneath my shaded spruce panel here. It's a good thing. You know, they call me the master of deconstruction. It's like really a thing, people. All right, so when you're doing this, you're going to put down your plaid layer first and then add your shaded spruce pattern over. But I'm just that good, so I did it in reverse. All right, now, oh my goodness, I'm doing them all in reverse. Did you see this? I've got my little foil label and I didn't tuck that under, so we're just gonna have to improvise. It's Facebook Live Improvision Edition. All right, so I've got my Take Your Pick tool and I'm just making sure I get all those little details cleared away. We want to see how gorgeous this is. And I'm going to cut it a little bit shorter than half now because I'm going to tuck it underneath my plaid layer here. And you want this to come out to the left of center. Okay, so now that we've got all these layers all ready for us, we're going to do some stamping. And we're using the Candy Cane Season stamp set, which is photopolymer. So let's get our Stampin' Pierce mat in here. And can you see our example? The ink is Old Olive and Cherry Cobbler. Now, we're going to ink up the candy cane in Cherry Cobbler. And then I'm going to stamp it at kind of an angle. I don't want it perfectly straight. The jaunty angle looks cool. There it is. Ah, there's something on my stamp. Do you guys see that? I don't even know what it is. I think it's a glue dot. It's a good thing this card is designed with a banner sentiment over it. That's going to get covered up just fine. Let's grab the, this is like the exciting Facebook Live. The everything that could go wrong goes wrong edition. I hope you guys still love me. All right, so let me show you this one. We're going to stamp our greeting, but we want to stamp our greeting on the flag panel pretty far to the right because we're also going to stamp these little holly berries on this little flag banner too. And we want to snug those up kind of close to the greeting. So there's our greeting. Now I'm going to cut a little dovetail or fishtail on our sentiment panel and then add some mini dimensionals to the back. You want to avoid this little area here because I'm going to tie some linen thread, so maybe really far to the right, left, and then a couple in the center. We don't want it to sag down. And we can move these two aside for a minute and do our Old Olive stamping. So the Old Olive is for this holly leaf, and it's a two-step stamp. So we're going to get some Whisper White cardstock, and we're going to also need some scratch paper. Good old foam bucks. Now one of these is a solid holly leaf and one has some detail. And you want to take the solid one first, ink it up in Old Olive, and stamp it off on your scratch paper, and then stamp. And what that will do is give you a lighter shade of the Old Olive ink. Then we'll take the detail holly leaf, we'll ink that one up in Old Olive and stamp directly over. And what you'll get is this lovely shaded image. Now we gotta cut this one out. And so I'm just gonna grab my scissors and I'm gonna cut just a hair off of the edge of the holly. We're gonna leave just the tiniest little white border. And when I do this, you can see that I don't hack around the leaf with the scissor. I just open and close the scissor in my dominant hand, and my non-dominant hand turns the leaf, the image, into the blade of the scissor. That's how you're going to get your smoothest cut. And then for the most control, you'll notice that I've got my thumb and my middle finger and the scissor, using my index finger to help guide. So just a couple of little tips for cutting. I know cutting and fussy cutting isn't everybody's favorite, but if you try these tips, hold your scissors with as much support as possible and turn the item that you're cutting out instead of steering with the scissor, you're going to get your best cut. Now I just cut off the little stems, and we want to smooth that out. And there it is. So there's our little holly leaves. Pretty simple. Let me clear away the ink pads before I put something important into them, like the card. And let's get our prepared card base back in here too. All right, so here's our sample. Hey Winnan, how are you? It's good to see you. We're making this fun little sweet season candy cane card. Okay, so I'm going to take my candy cane on the stitched oval and adhere it to the center of my scalloped oval. And I chose a nice big scallop piece. I wanted a nice wide edge there. And then that can go straight to the card. And you can see that I'm centering the oval in the label. Now we have our little "'Tis the Sweet Season" greeting and some linen thread here. And I'm going to wrap right around next to these berries here and tie a bow. I might need a little more. When I'm tying a bow, I like to have a little bit wider than my hand on the bottom, and then I have the top thread always attached to the roll, and that's how I use my ribbons and threads most economically. You'll have the least amount of cutoffs and trash left after you tie. All right, so you can see there's our little bow. And we want kind of big loops on this one because we're going to put our holly leaf right over the center. So pull your loops kind of long and then cut off the excess. And you'll see when you cut off the excess, everything's left on the roll. You don't cut a long piece, tie it, and then trim off it, leave scraps that go in the trash. Clear as mud? Okay, so there's our banner piece. Now we can go ahead and adhere that one to the card. Oh, I need my Take Your Pick tool. So this is the new Take Your Pick tool, and I use it for this all the time. These little pesky papers on your dimensional adhesive, just use the pointed side, the paper piercer, and I just use it to lift these guys right up. Saves my manicures. All right, go flip and add our greeting. See, there's a glue dot stuck to my stamp if you're getting here later, and it made this blob of ink right here. But look at that, like it never even happened. All right, we're getting close to the end of this because I did the big shot work ahead of time. I hope you guys like the card. It's a quick one. Hi, Barbara. I see you. All right, I've got a little mini glue dot and that holly leaf. I'm just going to pick and stick that right in the center of the knot. And can you believe it? We're done. That was it. Even though I put all my layers on out of order, we're still already done. Nice quick one. All right, you guys, if you live local and you want to join me for coffee and a card, or if you want more information about classes, you can email me, marisa@kitchentablestamper.com. If you're not local, check out the online classroom, kitchentablestamper.com/online classroom. And if this is the first time you've joined me for Facebook Live, I will see you next week at noon. Same bat time, same bat channel. That was a really quick card, wasn't it, Leah? Annette says, love your cards. Barbara says she'll watch the replay. I know it was so fast, you'll catch it on the replay. Annette wishes she lived local. Annette, you're not local at all. But if you ever find yourself in the Chicago area, look me up. All right, you guys, I'm going to go finish up the project sheet on this one. It's not quite done yet, and get it edited and posted. If you need anything crafty, reach out. Thanks for joining me. Have a great weekend, everybody.